Good morning. Vanessa Jones here from the beach in Los Angeles, California. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about entrepreneurship. Someone asked me, what did I do before I started working from home full time? And I was thinking about that because I've kind of always worked from home in a way. And for those of you that don't know my story, here it is in a nutshell. When I was 9 years old, I used to mark up the prices on Girl Scout cookies so that I could make a little bit of extra change. I, of course, had no idea that you weren't supposed to do that. When I was 11, I started a candy business at my school, and I almost got kicked out of school for my candy business. I was making over $400 a month at the age of 11, and my school decided that I was competing with their student store and told me I had to stop selling. Did I stop? Absolutely not. I actually recruited 2 other people to work for me and sell candy for me so that I can sell under the radar because I knew they were watching me. And I never paid them. I gave them free candy. So, when people talk about entrepreneurship, when did you start? How did you get into it? It's always been me. It's been in my blood. I don't know anything else. I had one actual job when I was 15. I worked at Burger King for a couple of weeks. That did not last very long. I don't do well with taking directions from people. And after that, I went to school for a PhD in clinical psychology. I love helping people. I thought that I would be able to do something in the field to make a difference. And for me, I feel like I can help people in other ways and still work my passion, which is being an entrepreneur. So what I did, went into real estate, and I did fabulous in real estate. I loved it. But how I got started is the true hilarious part about it. I saw something in a paper back in the early 90s, and it talked about how much money property was selling for. And let me back up just a little bit. I graduated from high school when I was 15, and in my decision making for colleges, I told my mom that I wanted to leave. I was like, I'm leaving your house. I don't want to be here. This is crazy. And so she told me to go look at how much rent was. And once I figured that out, I decided there was no way that I was going to rent anything. I was going to buy something. And so then I figured out how much a house was to actually purchase. And I was like, wow, I'm going to need a lot more money than a few $100s a month selling candy. So I decided that I was going to look at real estate. And so I spoke to a few real estate agents, and everything they told me about the industry, the percentages that they were making of the sale, and I was thinking, wow, this is some really good money. So I made some business cards, and I started going door to door, asking people if they wanted me to sell their house for them because I was a realtor. Yes, I really did that. And I actually got a couple of clients. I sold a couple of houses. I dug holes in the ground. I got some wood, had a post, made a sign. I wish they had camera phones back then because I don't even have any pictures of these hideous signs. I went to one of those like cash and carry places and found some real estate contracts, and I made contracts, and I walked them into an escrow office. And it's amazing that they let me get away with this. I had no idea that I actually needed a license. But I think the other reason that the people came to me is I told them that I would sell their property for $3,000, which is a fraction of what anybody else was willing to do the work for. But to me back then, that was a lot of money, and I actually had clients. And so then someone actually told me that I needed a license. Of course, I got licensed and I did things correctly. And I got into property development, property management, marketing, leasing, new development. Did a lot of new development work in New York City, which is where I really made my mark in the industry, and had a blast. I had an absolute blast. But I also realized that there was more out there. No matter what, I was still working someone else's brand, building someone else's business. So then what did I do? I got partners, and I started a really successful real estate office. We had 3 offices in New York. I also had an office here in California. And that went really well. And it just did not seem like that was enough for me. I still wanted more. I feel like that entrepreneurial spirit in me has always been burning. And not until I guess I moved back to California and had to start from scratch all over again to figure out who I was and what I wanted to do, that I really realized that, you know, I am an entrepreneur. I love being creative. I can't draw to save my life, but my creativity comes from someplace else. I love thinking of things that make a difference in people's world and developing products and services to help other people meet their dreams. I find that a lot of people don't know where to start. They want more out of life. They say that, you know, they want to work from home or they want a flexible schedule, but no one's really willing to take that plunge. People really aren't willing to dive in and do what it takes to get there. So part of this is to, in a long-winded way, to answer the question of what did I do before. There you go. I've always been an entrepreneur and I've always known it, which is why I've never really held a job. I've never really had a job. But even if you do have a job and you have that burning desire, you're always thinking of some way to build something, to do more, to be more. Go for it. Just do it. As always, if you have any questions, I am happy to answer. I am happy to help people. I do consulting for people to also help them find their niche in the market, to figure out what you want to do, who you want to be, where you're going to make your mark in this world. So as always, if you'd like to reach out to me, please do. But that's me. There you go. So that's what I did before and that's what I do now. Have an incredible day, and I'm going to go back to walking on the beach on a Monday morning. Peace.